How you doing? So I said, hi. That's good, man.
Good evening, everyone. Just before we get started, can we make sure the mics are just.
Mic check 1, 2.
One, two, one, two.
Hello. Mic check.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming out to the West Park Commissioner Candidate Forum. And tonight, we will learn from our candidates. We will be educated on some of the issues and concerns of the West Park community. We also will be on social media outlets. We will be on Faith in Florida's page. We will be on Cornelia's Worship Center's page. We will be on Higher Vision's page. We will be on Greater Mount Zion AME page, Dania, that's Dania, Greater Mount Zion Dania page. And we will also be on Bless Broward's page. And all right, and so we are about to start. And we have, make sure that if you're in here, I'm sure Ms. Pratt is doing a great job in the back, but make sure that you have signed in. And make sure you let your friends and neighbors that are not here, let them know what's going on here, whether you are going live or taking pictures or sending a text message, because this is very important. At this time, we will have an opening and a prayer, a welcome by the host pastor in the person of Pastor Kenneth Pace of the Central Baptist Church. Thank you. Give him a hand for hosting. Give him a hand for loving his community. And give him a hand for loving God's people.
To God be the glory. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and thank you for the opportunity for us to have this forum here for our community. I pray that everyone come here with a mind to hear what the candidates have to say. We have to remember that this is our community, and our candidates are running for a special seat and being re-elected for a seat. So let us come together as a community, do the right thing, because as we can see how politics can destroy our community, politics can destroy relationships, politics can destroy friendships. We got so much going on in the world today dealing with politics, so I pray that all our candidates come with a heart to serve and do what's right for our community. And with that being said, blessings upon them and people that's voting for whomever you vote for. Let us do the right thing and support and do the right thing for our community. God, we thank you tonight. We ask you to bless every heart and soul. We ask you for your grace and your mercy upon us all. We bless your holy name. We thank you for this opportunity. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
you, Pastor Pace. I bring you greetings. I am Catrice Johnson, the organizer for Faith in Florida for the South Broward area. Who is Faith in Florida? Faith in Florida is a social justice 501c3 multi-faith, multicultural community organization under the umbrella of Faith in Action National Network. Faith in Florida believes in building power and amplifying the voices of concern in our communities. We are nonpartisan, and we believe in protecting and defending democracy for all. Faith in Florida organizes and operates within 35 plus counties throughout the state of Florida. Our chapters are led by clergy, faith leaders, community activists, impacting individuals, driven with a mission to address systemic issues that plague our communities and promote justice and equality for all. We believe in a society free of economic oppression, free of racism, free of discrimination. Faith in Florida is led under the leadership of a true drum major for social justice in the person of our executive director, Pastor Rhonda Thomas. Faith in Florida is here to unlock the power of the people for positive changes and building a beloved community. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Faith in Florida a hand. I just did that so I could grab this piece of paper. So at this time, Faith in Florida, we believe in empowering the people with a voice. And we believe in listening sessions and also listening to the people of the community. Because it is the people, if it's not for the people or the people, who will have these people sitting here today. And it is the people, you all, who will decide who will you have to represent you. And so we believe in hearing from our community, the voices of our community. So at this time, we will have a story, a testimony from one of our community residents of West Park in the person of James Sparks at this time. I forgot. Let's give him a hand.
That shows that you're concerned about your community and you're concerned about the people we're going to serve. I'm a firm believer in what I believe in, and I really don't try to push what I'm reading on everybody else. I try to listen to what everybody else says and see if we can come together on a group. I'll give up what I believe. If somebody else gives me something that sounds more appealing, and it's going to help us out. And so what I'm saying to each of you as a candidate, all you have to do is vote what you do. A lot of times, what you want to say or what you believe is not going to go at this time. At a later date, it might be a good thing, and it'll work. But we have to work together to get there. I tell people all the time, I've bit my tongue, but I ain't cut my tongue off. I just push that joke on the side and try to make sure I don't hit it again. So that's what we have to do as leaders in the community, and that's what we have to do as the people that you voted for. You have to be accessible. If somebody comes to you and say, I don't think that's a good thing, we need to do that. Now, you can't do everything everybody says, but you have to listen to the majority. And most of the time, if you do that, you're going to find that it's going to work. For the community, we've got a thing on the ballot coming up for the commission. They've been here 15, 16 years and they haven't had a raise. I mean, listen, I don't care what you think about it, or what your feeling is, and what you believe. 15 years without a raise, how many people gonna stay on a job? If you are, you come see me, I got some work for you. But, when this come up on the ballot, I really have to really consider getting them to vote yes for that raise. Because they deserve it. West Park is a progressive city, we're doing good. You voted people in to keep us moving along, and that's what we want to continue to do. And to the candidates, we're gonna vote for you guys, we want you to just continue trying to get us to where we need to be. And that's it. Thank you.
Let's give them a hand from hearing from. And at this time, I would like to bring up the mayor of West Park, who have graced us tonight, who also shows a lot of concern about what is going on in West Park, in the person of Mayor Felicia Brunson.
Good evening, West Park. Good evening, West Park. Again, I am Felicia Brunson, your mayor for the beautiful city of West Park. And it is a blessing and an honor to be here with you tonight. First of all, thank you, Pastor Pace, thank you, David Floyd, and all those who put this event together. We've been at this for a long time. I've been at this for a long time. And we are the city of positive progression. And so we've been here for 17 years, and we're looking forward to many, many more years of being even more positive, and having even more progress. We have a lot of work to do. And so don't think that these seats are light to sit in. They are heavy seats. And so you have to come with all of that in mind, with the understanding that we may not all get along, but at the end of the day, as long as we make decisions that benefit the 15,000 plus residents of the city of West Park, then our job is done. So I am anxiously anticipating to hear what will take place tonight. And again, with the understanding that we are looking forward to consistently moving West Park forward. We are not going back. We've got too much work to do. We've got too much at stake. And we have a whole lot of projects coming so that we can make you proud and make our city even better. So that's what we're looking forward to doing. But a couple of quick things that I need to mention to you, I need everyone in here to please take a look at your voters registration card, but then also go on the Broward Supervisor of Elections website, because our polling places have changed. Some of us, they've changed again. So if any of you, we used to have a polling place at Mary Saunders that no longer exists. In the August election, my polling place was the Boys and Girls Club. No, I'm sorry, it was McTeer Park. Now in November, it's the Boys and Girls Club. So this is all by design for you to get frustrated and not vote. So I need for you not to just look at the two cards that were sent to you, but also log on to supervisor's election and check to make sure that you're going to the right place. This is all by design, though. When they said many years ago, vote like your life depended upon it, we are living that. Today, we are living that. We must not only vote for our local election, but look and vote for everything. Because what comes from the top falls down on what we can do here locally. So please pay attention to that. We encourage you to do vote by mail. You never know what may come up, so please do that. Again, everything is on Supervisor of Elections website. Early voting will be taking place here in the city. So you can go right to Clark Range's library now and you can early vote. That's the first time in the history of voting. So that is so there is no excuse for no one or anyone in West Park not to get out and vote. And again, I say, vote like your life depends upon it, because it really, really does. The local decisions and the decisions that come from the White House. Again, thank you all for participating tonight. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for wanting to be involved and engaged in your city, because we are here to serve you. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for representing the city of West Park so well. And please take heed to the information that she gave you. Please do not take lightly going to check where your voting polls is. But to help that situation, we're gonna stress and put emphasis on early vote. You can vote early at any precinct in the Broward County, in any precinct in Broward County. Any early voting place in Broward County. And Pastor Pace has so graciously, somebody supplied him with the voting information at the back, on the back table to tell you where those early voting sites are. And so at this time, I would like to acknowledge some of my colleagues that have joined me here tonight and supported the West Park community. First, I would like to acknowledge my colleague from she's an organizer in North Dade and also in South Dade. She's from one extreme of Dade County all the way to Homestead to Miami Gardens, and that is Reverend Pastor Stephanie Russell. Please stand and raise the people. She will be our town people tonight. And also my faithful fellow. This guy, I can call on him and depend on him, and he always comes out along with Pastor Russell to support any of my events. And I would like to acknowledge my colleague, Mr. Gregory Welch. He's standing in the back right there. Mr. Gregory Welch is responsible for voters registration in Broward County. He's one of the fellows. So if you are not registered to vote, he is your guy. Tonight he's fully supplied. And October the 11th is the last day for the deadline for your voters registration to begin, to be able to vote in the November elections, not the last day of voters registration. You can still register after that, and also after this election, November 8th, everybody, look at the person next to you, in front of you, and all of that. Everybody in the state of Florida will have to request your vote by mail ballot. Thanks to your governor. We have an election coming up. We have an election. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the governor, thanks to the governor of Florida. We have an election coming up. So at this time, I would like to bring our moderator for the evening to the podium in the person of Pastor Anthony Saunders, Dr. Reverend Anthony. I don't know what hat he's gonna wear tonight. But this is our moderator for tonight. And he also does an excellent job executing. He's going to give you all the instructions of tonight. But I'd like to bring him up, the pastor of the Higher Vision Ministry Church, Pastor Anthony Saunders.
Good evening, West Park. Good evening. Good evening, West Park. Good evening. Y'all should feel special. They flew me in all the way from Alabama to moderate this candidate forum. Amen. So, Blessed Broward consists of North, Central, and South Broward County clergy. And we do candidate forums on a nonpartisan, unbiased, impartial format. All of our forums are free and open to the public, and they are accessible via social media platforms. For tonight, time limits for all the comments will be enforced. And in fairness to all the candidates and the audience, we will ask that these time limits be kept. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for opening remarks to introduce themselves and also tell us why you are running or rerunning. The moderator will ask then clerk the panelists, and you will be given 2 minutes to answer questions. We may modify that because we have a lot of questions. We're going to try to get them in maybe a minute and a half, but I'll let you know the difference between the questions that come up. And then once we're finished, time permitting, you'll get 2 minutes for your closing statement. We will have a timekeeper, Pastor Russell, right in front of you. So when she gives you a little wave or something, that means you got 15 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds to wind up. And then all of the candidates will ask you questions and we'll rotate the order. We're going to rotate the order in which we ask the questions. So for a start for us tonight, we're going to ask you, we're going to have 4 categories after your introduction. It will consist of your vision, community involvement or engagement, oversight, and then the budget. Those will be the categories that we'll discuss tonight. And we'll start with introductions, and we'll start from my extreme right with candidate Tangi Bates.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tangi Bates, and I will be the next commissioner for seat 1 for the city of West Park. I want to share with you that I've been in the West Park area for over 30 years, and I've always been asked to move the city forward, and that's the main thing we will have to do. Also to share with you, I have over 30 years in public service experience. But that experience is shared in several different areas, whether it was economic services, community development, or the public section. Also, the reason why I'm running is that I wanted to bring unity within the city. We have to have unity in order to move forward. If we don't have that, there's no way we can have the economic development, positive economic development, or things for our seniors, for our young adults, or for our youth. We need all these things, but we need to work positively together, unified in order to move forward to make it all work for all of us West Park, one West Park. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Katrina Touchstone. I have been a lifelong resident of Carver Ranches in the city of West Park. I am so grateful, let me back up, for the host for hosting the event tonight. And this place holds a special place in my heart, Central Missionary Baptist Church, as it was my family who started this church, so it really symbolizes a lot for me to have it hosted here. My plan for the community is to put the community first. As the host has indicated, it is your voice that we represent on the dais within the city. I have been the advocate for the community for the last 7 years, and I have already advocated for positive changes that each one of you are benefiting from. My desire for the community is to unify the community as well. When I was raised here, we had much more of a unified front to things. And like the moderator had indicated, it seems as though politics have divided our community more so than to bring it together. So my hope and my desire is to reunify us, to be one community like we have always been in the previous years before coming to city. I think that the most things that we need to do is to listen to the residents. Because when you're a representative of people, you have to listen to what they have to say. And I'm a person that's compassionate. I listen to the residents' voices, and that's what has made me a positive advocate for the community. My desire is to be elected to represent you on the dais this November for seat number 1, as I have been advocating for issues, as I said, this whole entire time. So being that I am from the community and I would like to represent your voice in a positive fashion. I'm asking that you support me this November. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank each one of you guys for being here today. You could have chosen to be somewhere else, but instead, you choose to be here with us at the West Park Candidate Forum, and that means a lot to me. I also would like to give thanks to Pastor Pace, and thanks to Katrina Johnson, and along with Les Bauer for hosting this forum. As you know, it's not an easy task to bring people together, and I'm grateful for that. My name is Christina Everard. I'm a resident of West Park for over 24 years. I worship here in West Park, right here in Carver Ranches. I'm a business owner in West Park for over 15 plus years. I have a business servicing tax, real estate, life insurance, and health insurance. I currently serve as the president of one of the homeowners associations here in West Park in the subdivision of Miami Gardens. I also have assisted as a scout leader with the scouts at the VFW Post 8195. And I'm also a member of the Citizen Observer Patrol. And I previously served as the PTA president at Watkins Elementary. And the reason why I decided to run for the commissioner of West Park for seat number 2 is because I feel and I know that West Park needs a leader that's going to stand behind the people. This needs a leader that's going to fight for the people. And that's what West Park needs at the moment. I'm also running because we need democracy here in West Park. And if you can please elect Christina Everard to represent you as the next commissioner of West Park for seat number 2. Thank you.
Good evening once again, everyone. My name is Commissioner Brandon Smith, and I'm currently the commissioner here in West Park, and I look forward to being the commissioner. I'm humbly standing here not only as a representative of the city, but I'm also a product of the city. I started in my formative years here, being born and raised here, and also going to early learning right up the street at Gethsemane Child Care. Everybody know Gethsemane. Gethsemane Child Care. So I'm going to school here. I've attended also Watkins Elementary, McNichol Middle, high school, where all my charges at. There we go, charge of pride. So I also worked, for those of you who remember, I also worked as security guard at the library for many years before entering to now, I'm going on my almost 15 years in law enforcement as an officer with Miami-Dade County. So I'm not only just a representative of the city, but I'm also a product of the city. And I intend to continue to represent the city in the best way possible. I believe that I have done so for the last 4 years, especially with the challenges we faced with COVID and all the unexpected hardships that came along with that. And I believe that I represented the city well, and I look forward to continue to represent the city well and making West Park not only a destination place for its residents so that we can enjoy the place that we live, work, and play, but also for visitors and potential residents. So this is my mission as your commissioner now, and we'll go over the things that I have been able to accomplish in my short time in the last 4 years, and I look forward to having your support for the next 4 years.
Thank all of you for your introductions. The first category will deal with vision. this involves your personal vision of the way you want to see, or the way how you see the city and the progress in the city. So we're gonna start with you, Mr. Smith, or Commissioner Smith. And the question is, do you believe consensus building is important on a commission? And if so, why?
On a commission or from the community?
Consensus between the
Between the
commission,
commissioners?
yeah, the
Okay.
commissioners.
I just want to make sure I understood the question.
Sure.
Consensus building, yes, I mean, we're giving as commissioners and as, elected officials, we're given a very slim opportunity to discuss, city businesses, and that's of course due to the sunshine law, which prohibits us from talking outside of, open forums or city meetings. And it has to be advertised, and so there are strict rules, that apply and that are enforced, when those things don't happen. So the time that we have to discuss city business is amongst ourselves in the city meeting before the public, so that you are privy to everything that we're talking about, every idea that we have, everything that we discuss. So it's not done in secret. So that's the whole purpose of that. So consensus building, yes, I am a proponent of that. And once again, my track record would show that I've not always just voted just to move something along. I've voted my conscience, I voted my own convictions, and I stood on my own. I'm not able to be bought. I'm not able to be swayed by any position or seat or any amount of money. So none of those things faze me. I vote my conscience, I vote my own conviction, but I do take into consideration the thoughts and opinions of the city and its residents. So my colleagues as well. So that would be my answer to that.
Candidate, I'm gonna say Christina, is that okay? Okay, you want the question again? Okay, the question is, do you believe consensus building that is among the commission is important on a commission, and why?
Yeah, I do believe, consensus building is important, among the commission. In that way, there can be, clarifications on issues, and have can come on one accord and better understanding and how to, run the city better. And also if, residents might come to one commissioner, they might address the concerns of another commissioner. So at that point, when they all come together, they can be able to, discuss the issues that the residents have. So I believe that, it is important.
Thank you. Need the question repeated?
Yes, please.
Question is, do you believe consensus building is important on a commission, and why?
I do believe that consensus building is important on the commission. It's also important in other areas of life as well. My campaign has been solely focused on putting the community first. And I think that when you are trying to represent the people, you need to be able to build a consensus of what the residents will desire to have within their community. And I think that if each of the individuals that are elected as your elected official have one goal in mind, and that's to serve the residents, and it would not be hard to come together and unify under that same goal. My vision has always been that the individuals within the community will have the weight of the weight of the responsibility for what is done in the city. And what that means is that their voices, when they do voice it, should be honored, right? As Mr. Sparks stated earlier, no, will everybody get everything that they want? No, but you have to focus on what is most important for the people and get that done first.
Okay, thank you.
Consensus building and team playing is basically the same. we have to find ways to unify all of us coming from each section, with our residents, with businesses, with any other surrounding cities. We can't move forward unless we work together, no matter what government we're in. If we can't do that, it's already a fail. If we're not here to fail, we're here to move forward and to be positive. And that's the vision, that we have a consensus between the residents, Broward County, because with Broward County, we have the partnership with a lot of areas in order to move forward, in order to get grants, in order to get whatever money is needed to build out programs and make it better for each resident, no matter it's good or bad. Either way, we have to be consensus builders together and team players.
Okay, thank you. Next question, we'll start with you, Dr. Katrina. We'll start with you. And it's really a second part to this, to what you just answered. How do you plan to involve residents in your decision-making process in the city of West Park?
Well, firstly, I have already started that with, the page that I created on social media, which is West Park Word of Mouth. That platform was created to involve residents in what was going on in the community and provide a platform that was going to be transparent to let them know firsthand what is happening in the community. In addition to that, I have always been a big proponent of advocating for smaller town home meetings within the community. When I was the executive board secretary of the Carver Ranches and Hyde Park HOA, I had advocated for us to reinstitute block captains, in which they would be responsible for helping to disseminate the information within the community. In addition to the town halls, we need to meet people where they're at. Just like we congregate at churches and other different arenas within the city, we should have important conversations with that as well. I'm a firm believer that we can have a good time and we can have a party with a purpose if need be. So that would be my insight into trying to get people more involved in what's going on in the community.
Commissioner or candidate, thanks.
Community engagement. In order to get the information out, we still have to communicate. That's with, whether it's phone, whether it's email, whether it's a text message, it could be in a way of a forum where we could come together, have monthly meetings. It may not always go through like homeowners associations, because I don't know if they still having those meetings at the time, but just making sure that we connect on all levels and that everybody understands what's moving forward and what's needed to be said in order for our residents and the commission to understand, again, how to move forward in a positive way. Thank you.
As the president of the homeowner association, I'm already engaged in doing that, in getting the residents involved in the community. I have been known to be, my HOA is being known to have the most people the most attendance at the HOA. So I have been actually engaging people, and it's not just through regular texting and emailing and phone call, because we know that, as you can see, there's 15,000 residents in West Park. But if you look around, we can count how many that is in here. So I would say maybe you can guess 5% out of 15,000 here. So it's not just through the regular way. And just to recap, I was the only homeowners association that was hosting meetings via Zoom during the pandemic. So I am already doing that. But another way too is we have the same how when we want the people vote, we go and knock on the door and we give flyers. It's in the same manner too. We need to consistently doing that when we have things that's going on in the community, when we're having meetings, when we're having city business the same way. We can knock on doors and put flyers on people's door. We have this is the traditional way. We have the marquees. We can post flyers at the convenience stores that we know our residents go and shop. In addition to the actual way and having like small forums to get people engaged because I'm already in the community. I'm already talking with the people. And most of them is like they're clueless of what is taking place. So this is something that I would like if I become elected to represent you as your next commissioner of Western Seat number 2. That's gonna be one of my main priorities to start knocking on doors and every resident. By the time I reach my 4-year term, they would know Miss Everard because Miss Everard knocking on their door to get them involved.
The question for you would be, how have you involved residents in your decision-making process in the city of Westport?
I've also been able to, of course, before the pandemic, definitely attend the homeowners associations meeting, but also being accessible to those that are on my block, that are in the community. I always brag all the time, a few of my people on the block are here, Jimmy and Mr. Chandler, because I brag all the time. I have the best block in the city. I know that's biased, but I have the best block in the city because we all look out for each other. We all keep each other informed. We all go door to door. We all come to each other and what's going on, but not just there on my block, but also throughout the community. I have family that lives throughout the city, and I'm always, my aunt is doing a great job with helping me distribute information. So I use the resources that I have and the connections that I have with the people in the community to disperse and disseminate information on not only on the things that the city is doing in terms of events or programs and things like that, but also services that they can potentially use. People can see it also on my social media page. I constantly advertise things that are going on in the city. I use that as a platform. So we have to be well-rounded in disseminating information. It's not just about, yes, if we can get a crowd like this every first and third Wednesday in City Hall, that would be great. But we know, listen, with people, having a lot going on in their lives, and now we've made it accessible to where the viewership is mainly online for the city meetings, it's hard to continue to pull people in, especially after the pandemic has given them a break to kind of just sit back and watch it wherever they can. So it's about still getting out. Yes, we're still going to do the legwork, and I've still been able to reach people through close contact and forums such as this, so that we can continue to be able to move the city in a positive direction.
Thank you. We're going to switch now to engagement. And so for Commissioner Smith, I'm going to ask you the question in this way. What programs have you implemented during your tenure as a commissioner? And also, what programs will you look to implement as a commissioner over the next 4 years? And then the question for the others will be, what programs will you look to implement during your tenure as commissioner? So we're going to start with Commissioner Brandon.
Thank you. Well, first, when I came in, before I even came in as an elected official, many doubted, many discarded. Many people rejected the notion of me even getting off because they said I didn't have the experience. But how many know that everybody got to start somewhere? And not only that, to answer the question directly, within my first 6 months in office, I was able to broker and forge a partnership between the city of West Park and Broward College. And within those first 6 months, we created a program. We initiated a program that they already had active in several other places. and I was able to bring it to West Park, which allows residents to take advantage of college opportunities here in the city. For those who felt that college was unattainable or inaccessible to them in the form of whether transportation or whether it was just money, not being able to afford it, we were able to make sure that our residents had an opportunity to get higher learning right here in the city of West Park. And that's because it's something that I was able to do within my first 6 months of being on the commission as an elected official. So I know what people might tell you what they want to do or what they should do or what they could do, but I'm here to tell you what I've already done. And like I said, not to despise small beginnings, because I was once where these three candidates sat. But I just want you to understand that this is why you can't just discard anybody and throw them away thinking because of a lack of experience. But not only that, I've also been able to add and create a budget, a line item budget for our city's youth council, which never existed before I got on. I'm the liaison for the youth council, and I created a budget line just for them. So with more time later on, I'll get to the rest of my accomplishments in a short amount of time.
All right. We're gonna get to candidate listening. Let us speak, please. Tell them when you're ready. Time. Okay, so as you talk.
Okay. If I was to get elected, and I will get elected as the next commissioner of West Point, I will bring back activities for the youth, like sports activities. Because keep in mind, the youth that we need to reach are the ones that don't have guidance, are the ones that are left behind. And I do agree with Brandon in the activities that the youth activities that he brought forward. But at the same time, not all youth are engaged in those activities. So I want to bring back activities that the youth can enjoy, the ones that are not in tune with the education aspect and so forth. First of all, I would have a forum to discuss with the youth of West Park what is it that they would like in their community. Because a lot of time we tend to plan for them and what we want, what we think that they should have. But the right thing is to do is to engage in a forum with the youth and hear from them what they want to do. But from my experience from listening to the youth is that they would like to have recreational activities so that they do not have to go outside of their city to join the sports. One of my next things too is that I would like to bring job fairs in the community. In none of the history of West Park, any of our elected official has created a job fair activity in the city. I noticed that Miramar has job fairs, Miami Garden, Hollywood, but what happened to West Park? We can have it too. We have the church here, we have a nice resource center in Cover Ranches. You know, we can host job fairs there. And all these things that I'm talking about, I'm not talking from me. These things are what I hear from the community. So as an elected official, these are some of the things that I would like to bring back. And bring back trade and plumbing, electrical. That's what our community wants. And that's what they've been asking for. So these are some of the programs that I will advocate to bring back in West Park. Thank you.
You go. Tangibles.
Okay, but some of the programs that I would implement, starting with, would be rent stabilization. As a human service coordinator, that's what I do all day. I'm talking with Broward County residents about their rent. And most of their rents are 20% more than what it was before, which is up to the landlord. But it would be to start some kind of program to stabilize the rent. If it would be 20% more. We would first start with our seniors, 65 and older, you know, with, supplementing their rent in order for them to afford it. Within that time frame, that would give them a chance to possibly save up, and then when it's time to pay for it on their own, they can. As for our youth, I would think about, like Ms. Alvar said, recreation, also, education with the STEM program concerning, the sciences, technology, because a lot of them are talking about coding. Also with math, also recreation is basketball, football, because I know we did have that once before. So we will work together to bring that back together again. Also programs concerning our seniors, maybe doing something like, the ring program, whereas for security, we could fund some type of, ring to have on their door for security in order to be protected. But it would be these programs to help better our way of life, to make it better for each section. The youth, the young, single parents, however, those programs that would help make our lives better. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry, go right ahead.
So, so the activities that I wish to bring are actually resident-driven initiatives. A lot of the residents are complaining about needs of financial literacy programs. A lot of people also would like recreational activities for their youth. We are devoid of any recreational activities in our community for our youth. The residents are tired of having to take their children outside the community in order to have recreational play and things to do. I myself am raising 3 young children in the community, and I know that, basically they are itching to have something to do within the community. I advocated previously for the installation of new playground equipment within our community because we were devoid of any place for our kids to play for over a year after Hurricane Irma. So I know that there needs to be strength in that area. I also would like to see the expansion of our senior citizen program. We need to not only take care of the seniors that are in attendance to the program, but we need to have some type of resources as far as individuals who may not be a participant of the program. Some form of outreach where they can have a number that they can call for resources as well. In addition to that, I would like to properly utilize the resources that we do currently have in place, because it's not all bad what's going on in the city, right? So we have to enhance some of the initiatives that we currently have. For instance, a lot of individuals that I speak to don't even realize that we have a computer lab at the Mary Sanders Park. I'm sorry, was that time? Okay, I just saw a hand motion. So many people don't know that we have a computer lab at Mary Sanders Park, and I would like that to be utilized more for the youth and the young adolescents who may need assistance with resume writing and resume building and interviewing skills.
Means you got 15 seconds. Okay, it's the hand. I thought I said that. So the hand means, like when you reach and pull your coat, it's the hand. Okay. So let's start with candidate Christina. What experiences or skill sets has prepared you for the office of commissioner?
I'm glad you asked that question. But as Commissioner Randall Smith just mentioned, is that everyone is an opportunity. Everyone needs somewhere to start. Brandon was given the chance to start. So in reality, as long as you have the passion and the love for the people, that's what matters. That's what the people in Westport is looking for. They're looking for someone that's going to represent them, someone that's going to be their voice, someone that's going to be the eyes for them, someone that's going to be the ear. The rest, with information out there and with technology, you will be able to learn as you get into office. And if you're not in office, you won't know what to do once you get into office. And Brandon Smith can tell you on that. But to answer your question, my experience that I have is that I have a financial skills. I'm a tax preparer. I'm a business owner. So with those skills, I will be able to look at the budget at a different angle. I have a real estate experience. With all those skills put together, and with a lot of people, that is the skills that I'm going to bring to the commission of West Park. And as my previous experience, I'm serving currently as a president for the homeowner association. I am among the people, so I know what the people need because they come to me to represent them. And I'm always at the city commission, voicing for the people and advocating for the people. So with all those skills, and in addition to that, with my computer analytic skills, I have the mind to analyze things and to see things from a different point of view. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, back to you. What experiences or skill sets has prepared you for the office of commissioner? Hold on. Ready? You ready? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have served on several boards within the city. I served as the chair of the Education Advisory Committee, in which I was successful in increasing the budget up to $10,000 for scholarship funding. I also was instrumental in changing the application to include vocational learning as well as individuals that were already attending college and not just high school graduates. In addition to that, I've served on the Charter Review Board where I was the co-chair and instrumental in bringing term limits on the ballot in 2018. So with that being said, I have certain skills that are inherited as well. I'm a pharmacist, in which that involves being very analytical and being evidence-based, right? So I look at everything from an abstract point of view. I also am a great listener, in which that's what you need to be as a leader, have effective listening skills and effective communication skills. Overall, I have a passion for this community and a heart for the people of the community, which gives me the compassion and the tenacity to go forward to continue to fight for the people, right? And fight for the issues that we care about the most. So in addition to that, being a mother prepares you for all things, right? And whenever you go about harming or bringing harm towards the kids, you're gonna see how you can really truly fight for what you need. Thank you.
Is it on?
Yes. The skill set I bring, first of all, is being a human service coordinator at this time. I've been in public services for over 30 years, and that's where you have to communicate, to look for whatever services that the person may need. So the skill that I bring to you all will be, first of all, a good listener. I also bring compassion, I bring concern, I bring partnership, I know how to negotiate. But you have the partnership between Broward County in order to get this stuff moving, and that I can do. But you gotta be resourceful, you gotta know where to look. When you don't look, you gotta find it, and then in order to move it forward. So I would be that person to make sure things move forward again in a positive perspective. But first, you gotta be that effective listener. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Let's question again. what experiences or skill sets has prepared you for the office of commissioner? Yeah, what experience, well, you are a commissioner, so what experiences or skill sets prepared you for the office of commissioner?
I would say, once again, not only being a product of the community and having deep relational ties both with residents and businesses within the community, it makes me resourceful. I'm also, by nature of being in law enforcement, I'm observant. I'm very detailed, I'm very structured. It gives me organization and being able to put things together and allow things to come together in a way that makes it better for all people. I'm very good with working with large amounts of people, and of course, as you know, in the field of law enforcement, different personalities. I'm very diplomatic in my approach to everything. I'm easy to work with. I haven't been, in any, perceived scandal, controversial, anything, not only throughout my life, but also throughout my tenure as a commissioner. And it shows that I have the character to be able to work well with others, even when I don't agree. So even when I don't agree, I don't have to be disrespectful. Even when I don't agree, I don't have to be rude. I don't have to, address things in that manner. So I'm able to work well with others in any setting, any environment. I have great temperament. It takes, a whole lot to, get me riled up, and even when I do, I'm able to use, a cooler head to make the matter go over smoothly. So, my skill set is basically, not only through life experiences, but also mainly, first and foremost, my character. Because it doesn't change whether I'm on the job or off the job. It doesn't change whether I'm in front of 1 or 100. If you know me and if you've been around me for any length of time, I've been the same. I'll always be the same. And like I said, I can't be bought. I can't be swayed. I can't be moved by, who likes me, who don't like me, or whatever the case may be. I stand flat-footed on the convictions that I have, and that's what leads me forward.
Okay, thank you. We're gonna move now to oversight. Let me say this. For those that are watching on the virtual platforms, you could put a question in the comment section and some of our scribers will write them down. And if you have one of these little index cards, you can write it for those here in the audience and give it to, be Catrice, and she'll bring it up and we'll look to get your question in. Oversight, we're gonna start here with candidate Tangi Bates. And the question is, what will be your top priority as a incoming commissioner?
I think the top priority would be just to come up with a plan to stabilize rent. Like I said, I see it all day where, I'm talking about residents where they can't pay their rent. So if you come up with some type of stabilization plan, to help supplement their rent for a certain amount of time, I truly believe that will help. I know some people think that's just a Band-Aid, but that's still giving them an opportunity to save whatever money they need to save in order to move forward. So we would need to have a stabilization plan for the rent.
Christine. The question is, what will be your top priority as a incoming commissioner?
My top priority is to find a reasonable village rate, because a lot of our residents has been complaining of the high property taxes. I know that we're giving like, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 3 cents on the dollar and so forth, but that is not reasonable. The issue is that before we became a city, our property tax used to be like 5.5 millage rate, and we were promised that our tax would stay the same, but instead, what we saw was it keep increasing and increasing. So right now, we're at I believe it's at 8.3 or 8.2%. I'm not sure, 100% sure. 8.2%. But I feel that's not enough. I feel like we should try to still get closer to what we used to be. So I would at least try to give at least a 7 millage rate. So that would be my top priority for us to work out some plan or to see how can we tweak the budget to give those residents back that millage rate. And my next thing that I would advocate for, which is what the residents are calling for, is to eliminate the red light camera. So those are my top priority, and to bring back the sense of community in the city of West Park, where we can reestablish democracy again. That way we all can work together as one and come under one accord. So that's my main, my main priority, because a lot of our residents has been, especially our senior citizens, they have been forgotten and left behind. And we are in the high season of gentrification. All those nice, beautiful houses that we see around here, especially in Copper Ranches, that used to be one of our roots senior citizen homes, and now we're being moving out slowly. So, and I believe because of the high property tax, so we can, find some way to get it back at least to a 7%, and it can be done. Did that answer that?
No.
So,
You get a chance to answer another point. Go ahead, Dr. Tesla. The question is, what will be your top priority as an incoming commissioner?
Well, my top priorities are to look into ways that we can reduce the high property taxes. This has been the chief complaint for many of the residents for several years. The city has something which is considered a rollback rate, which suggests that we can reduce the property taxes to a level that is within the 7% range. In addition to that, my plan is to eliminate the red light camera system. We are one of the only communities within the South Broward region that still have the red light camera system. It's not producing any type of revenue for the city, or we are not. It's not producing any revenue for the city, and it's not saving any lives. So it seems as though with the red light cameras, in fact, we have more accidents than what we had before, because generally the individuals are trying to stop before they get to the red light in order for them not to get ticketed. So we have to address those concerns, and to remedy the concerns about safety issues, we have to work with BSO, our law enforcement officers, to come up with strategies to reduce crime, to reduce the gun violence within the community. I heard one of the residents say that it's turning into the wild, wild west out here in West Park because of all of the increased incidents of gun violence. So we definitely have to work with our law enforcement to increase their patrolling and visibility, and really give them a platform to do the community policing that our community really deserves. Thank you.
Commissioner Smith, what is your top priority?
My top priorities start first at, of course, public safety. That's been number one concern of our residents as of late. Public safety, not only in the sense of with whatever violent crimes that may take place, or burglaries or thefts, but also speeding. We know that there's a profound issue, not only citywide, but countywide, and in the southern region, and even all across the world. If you take a look at it, most accidents are caused due to somebody speeding. So not only is that an issue, but also continue to create or enhance upon sustainable and tangible programs that directly benefit and impact residents. Like I said, which we have already, we have, like most cities don't, we have a community benefit program where we assist residents with minor home repair, we assist residents with child care assistance, and also with tree trimming. And even throughout the pandemic, once again, our city, unlike many other cities, pivoted on a dime and reallocated even those funds to make sure that residents had temporary rent, mortgage, and utilities. These are sustainable programs that directly reach the residents where they are, and they get an immediate impact. So not only with that being said, but I also wanted to address even with the millage rate conversation, I guess. People don't understand that your millage rate is just the city's allotted portion of the tax that you pay, but the assessment of your home is determined by Broward County. So just for reference, as we can see, when the market was down and the value of your property was low, the millage rate in West Park was 9.42. In 2015, it went down to 8.65 and continued there for 4 years. Now, I say this to say this. Within the last 4 years, our millage rate has gone down twice. And both times, it has been initiated by me. So once again, people can say what they're trying to do, but I'm showing you what I've already done. So as your property continues to increase in value, I can make sure that, like I said, we do it the best we can as a city.
Thank you. On your questions, just a point of reference, I cannot accept a question that's addressed to a particular candidate or person. So I can't ask those questions. So if you put it in a general form, I'll ask the question, but we cannot ask it when you're asking just a individual. Okay? So we got several questions come in. I wanted you to remain standing, but I know you needed some water after that speech. And this is dealing, we had a few come in on public safety. So let me try to combine this and read it this way. The City of West Park's contract with BSO has been in the forefront. How do you view the BSO service and the city's relationship with BSO and with the community?
Okay, first, I believe that throughout, I'll say, our city's history, we've had fairly decent relationship with the Broward Sheriff's Office. They are very hands-on. They're very present and visible at all of our city events, greeting the people. They come out and give information, safety information. Just this past few months, each commissioner had an opportunity to host a driveway forum, and also each church had an opportunity to host a driveway forum to get back those consensus building community safety concerns. And BSO was out in full force when they gave their goal for the city and how they plan to protect the city, and residents were able to directly express their concerns to BSO and have them answered and addressed by BSO right there on the spot. So I believe that although, of course, in some people's eyes, it'll never be perfect, it'll never be a match made in heaven, so to speak. But BSO is doing their part, and we're going to continue to do our part with making sure that our residents feel safe, know that they are safe, and continue to be priority. And that should be across the board, no matter what partners we have, no matter what vendor we utilize. That should always be the goal, making sure that our residents feel that sense of security. Because without that, there's all kinds of things that can take place. But I believe that our concern with speeding has been prominent. And with that being said, I believe that those things will be remedied as time progresses. And like I said, I believe we do have a great relationship with the Broward Sheriff's Office at this time.
Let's go to candidate rates. You want the question over? Public safety, the city, how do you view the city's BSO service and the city's relationship with BSO?
Well, as a resident, I just can't imagine not having law enforcement in our lives. I just can't imagine that because of any emergency, we're gonna need it. So we can't just overlook it and take it for granted. As to relationship, we have to build our relationships. It has to be a partnership. As for what service they're getting, but also holding them accountable for what they need to do and what we're paying for with our tax money. So our relational currency.
Let's go to candidate, your question. City of West Park's contract. How do you view the service of BSO and the relationship with the city's relationship with BSO?
In terms of the city contract, being the fact that we don't have Pembroke Park any longer, so we used to share the contract and so on with Pembroke Park. So I'm concerned about that to see what direction it's going to be. Are we still going to keep the same price that we are paying now, which is 55%? So that's one of my concerns. But in terms of I hope it's still be the same, seeing the fact that it's not our fault why Pembroke Park decides to pull out. So they should still honor the amount that we're paying currently. But in terms of the relationship, I think it is very important to have a good relationship with BSO. And I do believe that the city and BSO, they do have a good relationship and a good partnership. But my main concern is other people has been requesting for speed hump because of speeding. So I would like to see BSO patrol more regular, not just when people complain, but let it be something consistent. So that's one of my main concern for them to patrol more more consistency, because we cannot expect to have speed bumps on every street. Because if you have an emergency and you need to go fast and so forth, and still on traffic. So just patrolling more and the relationship with the city and BSO. I think they have a good partnership from what I've seen as a resident. Thank you.
I think currently that BSO and the city has a great partnership, as far as, like the commissioner said, attending the city events and being available for the city needs. However, the residents have voiced a different concern, and that's one of my main, objectives, is to be concerned about what the people is concerned about. So the people have complained a lot about the speeding within the community, which can be cured by increased patrolling, as well as them holding the residents or whoever the offenders are to the letter of the law. That is the accountability piece that we have to continuously enforce. When you are conducting business, no matter how good someone treats you or how friendly you get with someone, you still have to hold them accountable to the responsibility of keeping your residents safe. And currently, there's not a lot of residents who feel safe. There's been residents who have been complaining about the response times and so forth in the services that we currently get from BSO. So I think that we need to do a better job in holding them accountable. We do pay a lot for the services, and I do echo Ms. Evelard's concern with the fact that the contract for both of our cities have expired. We have a joint contract with the town of Pembroke Park. So currently, I'm anxiously waiting to see how, if any, the amount that it will cost us to be solo with DSO. Because I understand that we the residents are responsible for whatever the price tag is that comes with the new contract. So I think that we need to be fiduciary in our, responsibilities to the residents to ensure that we, properly competitively negotiate, with DSO to keep the costs low.
Yes.
Everybody haven't turned into that question. Okay. All right. So we're gonna do 1 minute on these, 1 minute, and we're gonna try to get these in. And where did I go? Started with you. Okay. We're gonna start with candidate Christina. Okay. This is the question. Will there be an effort to move forward with a program for a recreational center with gym for the youth? That's the question. Will there, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Will there be an effort, I guess there was a start, will there be an effort to move forward with a program for a recreational center for the youth?
Thank you for asking that question. Thank you for asking.
1 minute.
Yes, thank you for asking the questions. But indeed, that is one of my top priorities to bring recreational activities, sports activity, in the city of Westport. So therefore, that would be an effort on my behalf to find the resources, to bring that facility here in Westport. And I know currently, there is a works in redoing, the park at, Tayo Park. There has been a plan, a couple years ago, so that would be something that I could, take the effort and take the initiative to work with, the state officials and Brevard County to get things moved forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Repeat the question, please.
Question is, will there be an effort to move forward with a program for a recreational center for the youth?
I think that a recreational center is needed for the youth of our very own. I know that we do have the Boys and Girls Club in our community, which has been providing recreational services for our youth currently. In addition to partnering with the Boys and Girls Club, I think that we do need a spot for our kids to enjoy on their own. I think that we need to focus our priorities on the parts that we do own and have control over. I think that initially we need to start with the parts that are essential to the residents in the community. I think that we should probably start with Mary Sanders Park and updating that building because it is currently in a dilapidated state. So I think that we should focus on improving that and making that a rec center priority over any place else within the city. Thank you.
Well, I do know that they do have a recreational basketball team, because I saw them practicing at Mary Sanders Park. And we would need a recreational center in order, I guess, to start that program. We need to look at some type of funding in order to support it. Even if we use Mary Sanders, we would have to look for some type of resource or some type of grant in order to make that building possible for our youth to have the recreational activity.
All right, thank you.
question, please. I want to make sure I answer that correctly.
No, I got you. 1 minute, though, 1 minute.
I got you.
Maybe, sir. Will there be an effort to move forward with the program for recreation center?
For recreation facilities, currently there is under our capital improvement plan, a conceptual design that had taken place a few years ago. However, that is a $20 million project. So that right now, we are currently refurbishing the fields at Mary Saunders Park to have new soccer fields, new baseball diamond field, and also the football field, and also the tennis courts. So we're now renovating those things in an effort to supplement the need we have outside of what has already been stated with the Boys and Girls Club being an indoor recreational space. We are also making sure our outdoor or green space facilities have outdoor recreation activities as well.
1 minute for this one. I'm going to condense it here if I can. Let's see. It says, West Park residents pay extremely high taxes. As a commissioner, what will you do to bring more business on Pembroke Road to update and lower our taxes? All right, so that's the question. You want to start with that, Commissioner? You want to take that one? You want me to ask and say it again? Because I know I'm stumbling here, so let me say it again. Says, because this one went all into the childhood. So I'm trying to so it says, okay, it says business brings money into the community by paying taxes. West Park residents pay extremely high taxes. As a commissioner, what will you do to bring more business or bring Pembroke Road to update Pembroke Road and lower our taxes?
First of all, as I stated earlier, your West Park is not the only taxing authority when it comes to the taxes that we pay. And we have a budget guide that is available for each and every resident on how to understand where every dollar goes in the city. And only 33 cents of every dollar goes to West Park when it comes to your taxes. So you have the school board, you have a hospital, you have a whole bunch of other taxing authorities that are in your tax bill. So it's not just the total taxes that you pay are not just West Park. That being said, what we do as a city, once again, is make sure that those opportunities that we have to create opportunities for businesses to come, meaning beautifying our city, making our city more attractive, the infrastructure, the roadways, making it more palatable that someone will want to invest in the city. But that's how we bring business to the city.
You want me to read it out? Okay, thank you, sister. Thank you.
Commissioner, what you said. Also to attract businesses, we also have to partnership with different entities with Broward County. Broward County have the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce. They also have small businesses, offices. Also, they have economic services where they help build businesses. Also, there was a study done with the Greater Commerce of Fort Lauderdale about different area codes that was deficient in businesses, and 33023 was in there. So in order for us to move forward with attracting businesses, we need a partnership with these entities. Whereas if they're gonna contract with the county, maybe they can push in that we have to do it West Park. Right. So that's one way to do it. We have the partnership, we have to negotiate with these communities, and not communities, I'm sorry, with these different entities that are already implemented within the city, within the county of Broward County.
Thank you for the answer, Dr. Touchdown.
So I do believe that we need to partner with our current businesses that we currently have and build a consensus with them as far as what they would want to see along that corridor. I spoke to many business owners on that corridor who indicated that they don't feel as though the city is including them in the decision-making process. They don't feel as though they should have to basically sell their property or buy more property to have a successful business. We do currently have a chamber of commerce in our city that not many of the businesses are aware of. We need to provide more information on how to get those businesses that we currently have in line with the chamber of commerce that we currently have established to help propel their businesses forward. In addition to that, we have to partner with local investors that currently would like to invest in our community. And finally, we need to be business friendly. We have to get the word out there that we're ready to do business with other businesses and stop the negative spread of words about how we have not been business friendly. So we have to change that perspective. Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. As we know, to expand businesses in West Park, we're limited with space. So to say how to bring in new businesses, we will need like new construction. And right now, in most of the areas in West Park, there are businesses there, but they're not the type that we are, as you would say, they're not attractive to the eyes, of most people. Like we have a lot of car dealership and mechanic shop. That's not, most of us probably don't want to see, but that's what is there. So the business is there. The idea now is to how do we replace those businesses to businesses that are more attractive in the eyes of some people. So the thing about that is that we would have to provide incentive to those people that own those businesses and create a plan to see what kind of businesses that we want on those corridors. So that plan needs to come from the residents. So we need to establish a forum from our residents to see what they would like, and then provide an incentive to those business owners to buy those properties and build up that plan along the corridor. And I still have time?
No, 1 minute on this one, so. And all of you, everybody, yeah, okay. This one will be budget, and, I don't know where I started last, so we'll go down to you. It started with you, that you said don't come to you now. I got you, my brother. We're gonna go to the other thing. We're gonna talk budget, and the question is the commission salary increase. What is your position, and should the residents support it or not?
As for salary increase, they haven't had a raise. Well, they're starting with what they're $300 and $400 since the city started. So that's been 17 years ago. So each year on our jobs, we expect them to give us a raise. So I expect that each one of us will feel that their salary should be increased. We wouldn't accept that. I wouldn't. So yes, the salary should be increased based on the cost of living and the type of duties they have to do, what all entails and what their job description is. So yes, it should be an increase.
Okay, thank you.
I do believe that the commission do deserve an increase in pay. It is true that written in the charter constitutes that they get paid $300 respectively and $400 for the mayor. However, there is a ballot initiative that has not been fully discussed here, which is one, do we continue to keep that language within the charter? Right, because when I attended the last meeting when they were discussing that, it was seeming as though they wanted to circumvent due process and where they would give the residents the opportunity to opine on what their increase should be. There's a ballot initiative that says that should we delete it out of the charter completely? And what would that mean? Would that mean that they would decide among the commission whether or not they get a raise and how frequently they get a raise? So it's a tight line to walk with that situation. Although the language is confusing on the ballot, I do support that they should receive a raise.
Candidate Christina.
First, from the initial of the city, I'm perplexed as to why the people who are at the table, why would they even agree for a salary of $300 and $400? So that's perplexed me. You know, because that's nothing. You know, the salary should have been something more reasonable in comparison to what most people are doing. So yes, I do, but piggyback to that, I do agree that the commissioner should get a raise, go entitled to a raise, because I feel like $400 and $300 is not sufficient for the adequate work that they're doing.
Well, I do support the initiative to increase the salary of the commission. Initially, and with a lot of reservation and hesitation, it's always dicey to have input on your own salary, or how much you should get paid. Because I don't know about you, I don't want anybody to give me anything. But I feel that throughout 17 years, the commission has earned that from how they brought the city from where it was to where it is now. Financially speaking, we are in the best condition we've ever been as a city. We have the most reserves in our city now than we've ever had, ever, since the city started. So it took work to get to that point. So I believe that it's not giving the commission a raise, it's them earning what they've done over the last 17 years.
Just for clarity, is 300 and 400, what is that, a week or is that? That's a month?
$100 a month for commissioners and $400 a month for the mayor. And Mr. Sims, can I have a quick follow-up to that?
Sure, go ahead. 15 seconds, 15 seconds.
While you find, I'm starting. I'll just go.
Whatever, I'm good, I'm volunteer.
Go ahead, you can talk.
Okay, once again, and even speaking, like I said, directly for myself, which I'm up here representing myself, so I can't speak for the commission, but as myself, just to show that, listen, and we've heard how you responded to the amount that's being compensated to the commission. That being said, to show and to further illustrate and demonstrate that it's not about the money for me. During the pandemic, I initiated, and thankfully the commission unanimously supported. We gave our entire salaries throughout the pandemic to the residents for rent assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility assistance. So I can boldly stand here and say it has never been about the money for me. Because essentially, I took money and food out of my own house just to make sure somebody else stayed in theirs.
Just in the sense of fairness, I'm gonna allow you extra time when you come up again on that. He asked me for a follow-up, and I will give that courtesy also to you. We have about 15 minutes So I'm gonna ask one more question and then we're gonna go into your closing. And, let me find it here. It was just. Sure. Well, you're entitled to a follow-up now. I'm saying I will allow that follow-up but we only got one more question now, then you're gonna go into your closing.
I'd like to do a follow-up before we go.
You want to follow up to what, to that was just spoken?
No, in reference to, the property.
Yeah, speak in your mic, because
Sorry. No, in reference to the property tax, in reference to, explaining to the audience that, the millage rate for West Park is not the reason why the overall, tax is high. But what I wanted to say is the fact that we were promised that we're gonna stay at the same rate, which was 5.5%. And we went to 9%, and now we're at 8%. Do we expect residents to still be content? We're talking about the city tax. And also keep in mind that the overall tax was still low back then. And the borough county tax and the other tax that was assessed, it was still at the same millage rate. But West Park millage rate increased, and that's where the residents saw the hurt in their taxes. So it's not the fact that it's not just West Park. We're talking about West Park specifically, because as a commissioner, we're the one that control that rate, but we don't have control over the other taxes. But the other taxes pretty much have been stabilized throughout the year. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, last question again. In our last minutes, we'll give you the 2 minutes for your closing. And we're gonna start with candidate Christina. And the question is, what has motivated or inspired you to serve on the commission of the city of West Palm? What's your motivation or your inspiration? Yeah, no, this would be 2 minutes, and then we're going to close it. So whenever she's ready, 2 minutes.
I am not the average politician, as you guys can see.
You're a great one.
Thank you. But while serving as the president of the Homeowner Association, and it was my duty to attend the city meetings, to advocate for the residents, I saw some things that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that when we, the residents, go in front of the commission and we ask questions, we get no answers. And that really hurts me to see, not only myself, but other residents too. When they go to the commission and they ask about their property tax, they get no answer. When they ask about other issues, no answers. And that perplexed me. And to me, that constitutes bureaucracy. And that's the reason why I'm running for the Commission of West Park, because I feel that everyone should be heard, regardless of whether you're a Christian or not. But as we know, we can't please everyone, but at least give them the decency as we are representing them as a commissioner. We represent the people. So regardless of whether they vote for us or don't vote for us, they deserve to be heard. So that is what really prompts me to want to run for the commissioner of West Park for seat number 2, because I want to see a government with democracy, a government for the people, a government with the people, and a government by the people. Yeah, I'm representing the people, but it's going to be the people who's going to be making the decision, and everybody coming together and giving their opinion, and it's my job to put everything together and then come up with an opinion, but it shouldn't be just because I'm the commissioner, it's going to be just my decision. So that is what prompted me to run for the commissioner of West Park, to represent the people of West Park.
What motivates, what inspires?
What motivated me to run for commissioner is that I see the injustices that was done to the community, right? When I first started my advocacy with the city, it was due to issue that was brought about by a kickball game, actually. And it was us having a community gathering at the park and playing a friendly game of kickball that was interrupted by a barrage of police officers and commissioners coming out to the park and the mayor coming out to the park to shut it down. So that really thrust me into wanting to see what more was going on. And when I got to the city meeting, and that was my first meeting, I realized that there was an issue at hand with the TLC, and I said, well, why doesn't anyone know about this? I wanted to make it known to the community what was taking place, right? And then once it was known what was taking place, it was still felt as though no one really had a voice, right? I have been going to the commissioner meetings for over 7 years, and at majority of those commissioner meetings, I'm asking valid questions and I'm addressing valid concerns, and yet there's no answers. The thing that always gets me is that we are electing representatives to represent our voice, right? But then when we get there and we're asking questions, we're being pawned off to the staff. Well, no, we as your representative have to be accountable to you because we asked to be your voice. And that's what matters the most is the people's, we have to do the will of the people. And that's what I'm willing to do, and that's why
Well, what motivated me to run for commissioner is that I want to be that ear for the community. I want to be that person that listens to the community. I also want to be that person that stands for what's right for the community. You know, to serve with integrity, with compassion, love, understanding, skill. We need all of that. In order to make the good bad, we gotta listen, and we still gotta work together. And that's what I plan to be, that consensus builder, to make things work together for the positive, for the good, for the community of West Park, one West Park.
What has motivated you or inspired you to serve?
Well, I'll say continue to serve, in regards that I'm already serving. In seeing that you have an opportunity to directly impact someone's life means a great deal, and it does wonders, for oneself, for one's community, and the world at large. And just being able to know that, listen, my mom is a resident of West Park, my aunts, my sister, my brother, my nieces, my cousins are here in the city of West Park, and knowing that I have an opportunity to impact their lives greatly and make this city better than it was when we grew up here. It does my heart well to know that I can serve my community in that capacity. That being said, it allows me to think of new ways that will bring opportunities to the community that once again never existed or either can be enhanced upon. And that being said, I have, all the motivation in the world because some of these people who are sitting here today are those who raised me, are those who I've helped raise in terms of my nieces and my little brother, my mom, my teacher here, I have friends. So being able to know that I can impact their lives in a positive way and the lives of everybody else. And that's what people don't understand. When you're an elected official, any decision you make doesn't just impact everybody else and exclude you. So when it comes to decisions that are being made on theirs, those greatly impact us as well. We pay the same taxes that everybody else pays. We get the same services and programs that everybody else gets as well. So knowing that I can be a tangible blessing to somebody else does my heart well.
Okay, all right. Okay, our last question, for the evening is for you to close with telling the residents why they should elect you, and in case of Commissioner Smith, why they should re-elect you. We're gonna start with, candidate Tansy Bates and work our way across, and we'll start with that. Tell them now why they should elect you for a seat. What's the seat? Seat one, seat two, and this is seat one. This is seat one? Okay, and this is seat two. Okay, for seat one.
And she Tansy Bates, that's why.
Okay. Okay, Sean, you from Hallandale. All right, hold up the honor now.
My name is Tansy Bates, and I'm running for commissioner, one for the city of West Park. And I truly hope that you vote for me in order for me to implement love, skill set, compassion, integrity, love, concern, and just my love for the city, for my people, in order for us to move forward in a positive way to make West Park the best little city in Broward County.
Excuse my city. But in closing, I would just like to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out in support to hear what the candidates have to say. My overarching goal is to put the community first in everything that we do. I think that we have to really get back to the sense of community that we once had. That's what we actually that's actually what we had going great for our community before we became a city. And I just want us to get back to doing that. If we decide to, as a dais, as a body, to just think about putting the community first in all of our decision making, then the community has no choice but to be better for it, right? We have to make sound judgment and decisions that's going to impact the whole community positively to improve each and every one of our quality of life. We have to do a better job being good stewards to one another, and that's what I'm here to offer. I actually have been doing that in ways to support the community and be a resource for the community. I am a problem-solving orientated individual in which I come with solutions. So I definitely feel as though I have showed that you really can't go wrong with Touchstone. I have advocated again for positive changes within the community. And I appreciate your support this November. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm asking the resident to support Christina Everard to represent you as your next commissioner for seat number 2, because West Park needs a leader that's going to stand beside the resident. It needs a leader that's going to fight for the resident, and it needs a leader that's going to speak up for the ones that are afraid or intimidated to speak up, to be the voice, to be the ear for those residents. And also too, because I want to bring back that sense of community in West Park. And I want to be able to serve all the residents in West Park, not just my family.
Yes.
Because we know that West Park is becoming a diverse community. So we can't just focus on our family. All the 15,000 people pay taxes. So let me, as your representative for Commissioner seat number 2, I'm going to be there for all, even for the ones that did not vote for me. I have that active listening ear, and I'm humble, and I come with you with lots of love to give to my people.
Yes.
And I love my residents of West Park.
Yes.
So please elect and support Ms. Everard to be your next commissioner for seat number 2 and spread that word.
Okay. All right. Go right ahead.
Again, my name is Commissioner Brandon Smith, and I'm seeking your support on this coming November 8th for re-election to the commission for seat 2. And I want you to elect me not because you know me, not because you're family, but because, once again, what I've already done. And just because most of the accomplishments that I've achieved so far, while being on the commission already, I successfully forged a partnership between Broward College and the city of West Park. I reduced the annual millage rate twice in my 4 years. I've established an annual budget for the youth council, which is a crime prevention method. Also, I expanded the community benefits program. Also created and reallocated funds for emergency COVID-19 relief, which me and the other commissioners gave our salaries and our expense accounts to the residents. Also expanded the annual scholarship award program by not only soliciting other businesses to get involved, but also me and my own business. I donated money so that somebody else can have a scholarship to go to college. So not only that, but also the advocate for responsible for commercial development, which here we have in our city. We implement and enforce a development agreement, so nobody can just come in our city and take, but they have to give back to the city. They have to employ, they have to use local contractors and subcontractors to get any work done. So we do have a local preference ordinance. And so with that being said, I'm not telling you what I've heard, what I've seen, but I'm telling you what I've done with my own hands and what I had the privilege to do for you all, not just my family, but for all the residents in West Park. They are my inspiration, but they are not my only motivation. My motivation is the entire city, so although that's where I get my rain from, that's where I get my encouragement from, they are not the only ones that matter to me in the city of West Park.
Again, we want to thank all of you for participating tonight, all of you for your great answers to the questions. All right. City of West Park, give yourselves a hand. This is a great turnout. Before we leave, we would like to acknowledge, we have some other local officials, I'm told from the city of West Park, Commissioner, I thought they said he was in here.
Marvin Price and
Marvin Price, okay. And we're, from West Park, okay. Joyce Smith. And from the city of Irvine, Commissioner Davis, okay? Can we get everybody? Okay. Thank all my pastors that came out, Pastor Wiggins, all the way from Canada, and Pastor Miller's here. Pastor Miller, Pastor Miller, my brother, okay. I want to, on behalf of West Park, I want to thank Faith in Florida, I want to thank Central Baptist, and thank you, City of West Park. Come, please, and pledge. So tonight. God bless y'all, and go back to Patrice, come back up, and who's closing this out? Pastor, close this out. Who's closing?
Everybody vote.
You.
Don't forget to vote.
I wanted to call, I'm gonna call my brother, Pastor Tony Miller, to come and close us out. Give him a hand as he comes. And thank you all, and this is what community is all about. Y'all need to show up to the commission meeting just like this, and guess what? Everybody needs to tell 5 people, and 5 people need to tell everybody needs to vote. in this upcoming election. And keep this spirit and keep this community growing. And this right here is a picture of community.
Let us thank the host, Pastor Pace. Allowing this to happen in this place. I know my time is to close out. Since the residents are here, I just like to say this: with the look out in the next month, the community pastor of West Park will be painting 2 houses for somebody for Christmas. So we're going to give you information. We're going to give you other information on that. So look forward for that coming.
Also, please mark your calendars, okay, for October the 30th, Sunday, October the 30th. I know that some of the churches have some things going on, but when you finish your service or before you come to your service, we're going to have a Souls to the Polls for the South area. And we would like all the churches in the community to come out and join that event. Right now, the theme is going to be, and let me throw this disclaimer. Right, and I want no booze, okay? No booze. But I'm a Cowboy fan. All right. So, but on that day, we will, because we know the Dolphins play that day, we're gonna have a game day tailgate and trunk or treat Souls to the Polls celebration. That's the thing, and for it will more information, location will be forthcoming. Presently scheduled to be in Hollandale where we had our last Souls to the Polls, but just mark your calendars because we want the community to come out in great numbers, not just to come and gather, but we need you all to vote. Everybody say, we will vote. We will vote. We will vote. That's Raven Florida's campaign slogan for this election season. And again, thank you all, and just keep being a great community.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for the purpose of this house tonight, Lord. And as we begin to leave this place in your presence, we pray now that you lead us and guide us as we travel back home to our home safely. In Jesus' name, amen.